For years, it's been a controversial discussion. Die Hard was an innovative film for its time, which ended up sparking the creation of its own franchise. It was also the film that would catapult Bruce Willis' career in its own right. It has been referred to one of the greatest action movies of our time. Over the years, there's been constant discussion over if Die Hard is a Christmas movie. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring except the two assholes who get to discuss if Die Hard truly is a Christmas film. Tonight, we are here to give you what we call a good old fashioned Die Hard debate. This is a Comic Talkers production, and you are listening to a Yippee Ki edition of Just for Flicks. What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Patty B. With me tonight on this illustrious occasion is my arch nemesis.
Art, art derivative.
Arch nemesis. Easy for me to fucking say. Is Mr. B Dog, Mr. Asshole. No, Mr. Brandon, what's going on, man? How you doing?
That fits me because I feel like I'm going to be the bigger asshole in this discussion. No, I'm excited for this. It's something that I know you and I have debated since we met each other, and it's something that's always been up in our discussions pretty much all the time. But no, like Pat says, today we're going to get into discussing if Die Hard truly is a Christmas film.
It is. We're gonna be talking of why it is a movie.
I call it rebuttal on your end. No.
I'm gonna pull out my Uno reverse card on you.
Uno reverse. You can't handle the truth. No, doesn't matter. Anyway, but no, I think we should start it off, kind of talk about what we love about the movie, what we hate about the movie, and then get into the whole discussion. Off top of the head, just because Pat said it straight up, Die Hard's not a Christmas film. I'm putting it out there. I have my reasons for it, but we'll get to that later. Bruce Willis is not one of those actors for me. It's not that I don't like him, like on Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio. But he's not one of those actors. I think it's like, for me, it's just not easy to gravitate to, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's a hit and miss actor for me. There are some really great movies. I would say that from Die Hard to about early 2000s with Unbreakable and everything. Mm-hmm. That's where I go, okay, that's where he was at the peak of his career. And then from there, it just kind of went downhill.
Well, he did what was it? The Fifth Element. That was a interesting movie for its time too. I mean,
The Sixth Sense was a big one. Unbreakable is one of my favorites. He did Pulp Fiction during that time. Yeah. So the guy,
Pulp Fiction.
He did well. Then he did movies like The Kid and stuff that kind of downplayed him a little. Like he had Armageddon too. That's another big one during that time. That's a deep pull there, but it's not a movie I go to.
Yeah, it's not a typical movie. I'd be like, oh, it's a Bruce Willis movie. I see that more of a Ben Affleck movie for some reason. I don't know why.
And Steve Buscemi is who stole the show. No, just anyway.
Steve Buscemi. Even Owen Wilson's in it, man.
Wow.
But everyone and their mom's in that fucking movie too. So that's all you had to say. Scary environment imaginable. Got it.
But how I got into this movie is the weirdest way. I remember watching this with my cousin. I was in high school. I never watched it before.
Did you watch it on your Christmas break?
No, it was actually during the summer. And how he pitched it to me is that Mr. Winslow from Family Matters is in this movie. I was like, oh, I gotta watch this now. And so I watched it. And I'm not gonna lie, it's like there were some good scenes, but it was some I can't get past Hans Gruber in that movie every time. I love Alan Rickman. I love him in every movie I've watched him in.
He's evil in this movie, by the way.
But that's why I said, like, for him to play that and then people compare it to Snape's, like Snape still had a heart. There's a difference. Like Gruber, Yeah, he's the asshole in this no, I'm just messing. He was like, it's fun to watch him because it really does show how maniacal he can be and how it's you know what was it, what's your name, what game are you playing, it's like I just love him in that movie. He that was kind of, wouldn't you say that's like Alan Rickman's like first big role?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, this is well before. This was a good 13 years before I think the first Harry Potter movie came out, right? 'Cause
Mhm.
Sorcerer's Stone came out in like '01.
My favorite still is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Galaxy Quest,
Galaxy Quest is another one. Didn't he play in
Dogma.
Dogma? I forget he's in Dogma. I love him in
He's
Dogma.
my one of my favorite parts in Dogma. Behold the Metatron. He's like, "What are you gonna do? Hit me with that fish?"
But this is just it's a fun movie to watch. It is an action-packed film. You're on the edge of your seat, wondering what's going to happen next. It's just a really well told story. Bruce Willis and Alan Rickman really feed off each other, and they
Yeah.
did a really good job here.
And while you're talking about the aspects of like how the good parts of this movie, another thing I noticed watching it a few times, the camera work is fantastic in this movie. Like they really capture what they're trying to they capture what they want you to see, you know what I mean, and what you're able to take from the shots. Like the whole scene where you first see Holly, right? His wife's character, and she's at her desk, she's calling their daughter, and you see them kind of focusing on the pictures behind them of the family and whatnot, because clearly, obviously, they're going through a rough patch in their marriage, which sparks him coming out there in the first place, which we'll get into later because got a couple bones to pick with you on that one. But yeah, anyway.
But I agree with you on that end because like one of my favorite shots is like when Hans and one of the other guys is sitting there with the machine gun at
Mhm.
him, and you can see just in the tiny little hole right there, you can see where McClane's sitting, or like right there, just shooting through that little area.
Yep.
And I thought that was really well shot. The way it was, that's why I said like even when like I can never remember his name. I always remember him as Winslow, Officer Winslow from Family Matters. Um, I'm gonna go look it up because I hate calling him that all the time. Yep, Renegald Val Johnson. I enjoy him in this film, and you kind of see how him and John really reflect on them
Yeah.
being cops because John's been through a lot. He lives in New York, which is a tough city as a cop, all that. And you see that um Del Johnson's role is more, I made a mistake. It's hard for me to just go back out there. And and how they're bonding, even being over a dad, because he's an upcoming dad and John McClane's already a dad. So you have those moments with him. I think there was really good moments. There was stuff that I kind of was like, okay, but I've told you before, one of my favorite scenes of all time is stupid. 'Twas the night before Christmas and all through the house. Not a creature was stirring except four assholes crossing the street in a 2x2 formation. Makes me laugh. I don't know why it does, but it makes me laugh. Or when they're setting up and the guy steals a candy bar while he's sitting there getting ready to shoot up, get ready into a
Mm.
gunfight.
Yeah.
It's just one of those scenes. Like they do have some great comedical scenes, even with Hans Gruber. They have some.
Oh, dude. I mean, we were just talking off the air, but like when he's trying to call a dispatch office at the police station, and they're like, you've contacted the wrong part. If this is an emergency, he's, he's explaining to them what's going on, right? This building is being taken hostage by these terrorists and everything. And she's like, oh, if it's an emergency, you should call, our actual this number, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what do you think? I'm ordering a fucking pizza? And it's just, man, dude, it's just a brilliant line in the movie. And like you said, it just kind of really captivates. They have a lot of good comedic lines in this, but it's like the perfect combination of a hard action movie with some good comic relief. So,
Well, like another good scene too, I always liked is when he's trying to get Sergeant Pals. attention.
Mm-hmm.
And he's failing in every which way, so he throws one of the bodies and throws it out the window. He freaks out. that, and then when Hans Gruber goes, "What is it that you saying? Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!" And then it's just like, just stop.
He's like, turn to page 394. Wait,
Turn-
what? Wrong movie, sorry. My name's Hans Gruber. I'm here to take over the building. It's not a
turn-
bad, it's not a bad.
turn-
Sorry.
10 points from Gryffindor.
Behold the Metatron. Wait, wrong movie again. I'm sorry.
That's why I said
Yeah. Who's this asshole John McClane in this building? Sorry, I'll stop
no, it's fine.
it. Ho ho ho, motherfuckers. Oh man, this is a funny one. This is good. I'm happy.
uh,
This might be one of my favorite Alan Rickman roles, if I'm being honest with you. I think the more,
really?
you know what? I know I'm not saying it's over Snape or any of that. I'm just saying like Hans Gruber is pretty funny, man. Like you kind of sympathize with him a little bit, right? He's had some rough times. Hey, don't give me that fucking face, all right? I'm just
They're
saying
sympathetical.
he just seems like a good guy, but not really a good guy, you know. Uh there's there's that point where John McClane's wife, is really doing a good job with negotiating with him, like getting that sofa for the pregnant lady. He's like, no, 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 we'll bring the sofa out to them, not in the office. Just I don't know. There's certain things that he does. You're like, okay, maybe he's an easygoing guy, and then he totally redeems himself by doing a terrible, heinous act. So
Well, what was it? What is it? One of my other favorite parts of
I'm
that.
talking in circles.
One of my other favorite things with Hans Gruber is when he's trying to make a deal with the police officers and he's just naming random people. He goes, and his partner's like, "What?" And he goes, "I read it in Life, Life magazine or Time magazine."
Yeah.
Like, just, it's like, just stop. But or it just that's why I said, like, I like Bruce Willis in this film. It's one of the movies I can actually watch him in and actually like it,
Hmm.
and that's fine. Everybody's gonna look at me and go, "Why do you not like Bruce Willis?" I never once said that. Just his movies get tiring to me, and
I mean, I get it. This franchise alone was,
isn't there like 6 movies in this franchise?
I think, yeah, something like that.
5 or 6. It's up there. It's not 4 because they made more than that.
They had like two newer ones, right?
Yeah, because you have the second one, then you have Die Hard with a Vengeance, and then you
Yeah.
have the 2 newer ones, Live Free or Die Hard, and then there was another one. But that's where the series kind of got stupid, and I just went, I'm
I
done.
think the original ones are, it really holds the nostalgia, I think, a little bit, you know. I've told you this off recordings and whatnot, but I mean, Die Hard with a Vengeance is
It's one of your favorite movies, and
one of my favorite movies, and it's definitely my favorite of the franchise. This first one, original one, I think after watching it a few times, I definitely appreciate it a lot more. And I'm like, yeah, this is a good movie. This is not a bad action movie at all.
to talk about Die Hard with a Vengeance, that is a duo I would pitch as like a famous actor duo. I'd pitch Samuel Jackson and Bruce Willis
Hmm.
because this is not their first movie. Like, they've played in other movies together. And one of my favorite, is Unbreakable, which is him and Bruce Willis, and it's a very psychological kind of thriller, and it makes you really think about things. It's a really good movie, and that spawned a franchise.
Yeah.
And the second one was really good, and then the last one was just terrible. So, again, but that's why I said I think we've talked enough about that. Now, I think it's time for us to kind of debate this out. Okay. I don't view it as a Christmas movie. And I'll pitch my case. One, and I'm going to put it out there because I want people to understand where I'm coming. Because it's set during Christmas does not make it a Christmas film. Okay. Okay. So here's my other pitch to you. I know we've talked about it, like Home Alone should be considered that. I beg to differ. Home Alone still had 3 movies based around Christmas time and during Christmas. Die Hard only had 1. That was around Christmas time. If it was the second one that was around Christmas time, then I can understand it being called a Christmas franchise. But it wasn't.
So you're thinking because okay, so you're really gonna go sit there and say that you think that if there was a second movie involved that was the same theme, it would be considered a Christmas
Well,
franchise,
I look at it this way.
not just the singular movie itself.
I think it this way. Because it was set during a Christmas party. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, you heard some stuff, but you didn't hear a whole bunch that was like that. You had your jokes here and there about Christmas time and all that. But to me, for them to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, it's a Christmas movie," I just don't see it. I don't. I understand the references. I understand that, but that's like saying Harry Potter's a Christmas movie, or
Yeah.
hey, that's that. Because okay, it's set during Christmas at certain points, but doesn't make it a Christmas movie. You know, it's sad that Freeform and all them play it during Christmas time. You have a whole bunch of other Christmas movies. Like my thing is like when you look at Christmas movies, like I'll even put it out there. If you look at Krampus as a Christmas movie, put it out there.
I haven't seen Krampus. Um, Might be asking the wrong guy here.
Yeah, but
I mean,
okay,
didn't it come out during Christmas time?
yes,
It's yeah. I mean, I would assume
but
so.
but it's a horror story.
What's wrong with that?
Well, okay, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
there's things that you have to look at that way. And maybe I can revise how I say this. It's not a family Christmas film. It's not something that I would say I'd watch with my kids, right away. No, because there's a lot of stuff that's not for kids in that film. There's nudity scenes, there's a lot of cussing, there's a lot of violence, gore, everything you can think of there is involved in it. And it's just one of those things that when you look at that story, I just don't see a lot of Christmas. Or because, okay, like even the scene where he's saying, "Oh, can you put on Christmas music?" And what does the guy go, "Oh, this is Christmas music." And he's sitting there and he's playing a rap song with Christmas music. So it's modernized. And it's like, okay, do something different. You
Yeah.
know, like I just don't for me to get a Christmas vibe off this, I just don't get it. You have your little comments because they even say it is at Christmas. It's happening. It's
Hmm.
Christmas Eve and Christmas is the next day. And they're going through the night. So they're already in Christmas when the movie ends.
Ho ho ho.
Yeah, and that was one of my other favorite parts when he takes the dead body and puts him down the elevator and he goes, "I got a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho."
Ho
Yeah,
ho ho.
I love him in that scene. It makes me laugh every time he goes, "Who is this guy?" I love him. But no, like, okay, why do you view this as a Christmas film?
Okay. The whole movie is set around Christmas time, as we know, right? It is referenced multiple times throughout the film. Okay. That Christmas music is used throughout the movie, which sets the tone for the theme of the story. Again, you have Christmas terms are referenced multiple times throughout this movie, like, the lines, all that kind of stuff. My biggest thing is because of Christmas, the story isn't possible. All right. For one, we don't have John McClane flying in to go see his family, see his estranged wife, you know, during Christmas because it's Christmas. And, and,
And
and not to mention, there is a goddamn Christmas party. There is a Christmas party that is taking place at this building that gets taken over by terrorists. That wouldn't have happened if there wasn't a get together, hence a Christmas company get together. All
okay,
right.
okay,
No, 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 no. I'm sorry. But this is the reason. This is what is the glue that holds the mold of this being a Christmas film. I'm dead serious, dude. I am dead serious. You're not gonna persuade me otherwise. Only because, like I said, without Christmas, this movie is not possible because of those reasons what I just said, right? He wouldn't be in town because if it wasn't for Christmas. All right. There wouldn't be a company gathering if it wasn't for Christmas. All right. And by the way, this is a terrible company move by having your yearly Christmas party on
Exactly.
Christmas Eve. You don't think families got better shit to do? That was my thing. I was watching this and I was like, man, I'd be pissed, dude. If I had like a nice set vacation ready to go, and that my company, my it looks like it's a nice company to work for. I mean, it was a really ritzy looking party they were pulling for everyone, but I mean, I'm just saying that I'd be a little ticked off if I, had planned this vacation and then I just miss out on this awesome party.
So I got two more things I want to bring up on my end then.
Go
Okay.
go for
Okay.
it.
Okay. So you brought up, okay, oh, because it's set during the Christmas party. Okay. Harry Potter has scenes in the Christmas time frame.
Okay.
You call that Christmas then?
No, because that's 5 minutes of Christmas
Okay.
as
And
opposed to
how
an
much
hour and 50 minutes of
Yeah,
Christmas.
but that's not all Christmas though. It's
It
all
is on Christmas. It takes place on Christmas Eve.
it doesn't
What do you want? The
matter.
whole movie takes place during Christmas. So so you're saying now any movie that takes place in December is a Christmas movie?
Well,
That's what we're
that's
getting
what
at?
I'm getting from you at
Like I
this.
said, there is a reason that all these people are together on this joyous occasion to have a Christmas party for their company.
Okay.
All right.
So here's two other things I want to bring up. Okay. Even Bruce Willis, okay. Remember back in 2018, 2017 when they had a roast of Bruce Willis? Even said it straight up on stage. Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's being biased though, right? You can't
From the
talk about
main
a movie.
actor?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you gotta let people interpret this movie the way they want to interpret it. All right.
Okay, I want to bring this
Maybe
point
don't
up.
throw Christmas in it.
I want to bring this point up to you too. Granted, he came back during Christmas time to have time with his family and try to fix his marriage. Okay. But we already saw in the movie, they were still having struggles. And the way it looks, they ain't going to get far because she's set in her career. He doesn't want to leave because he's set in his life. I'm sorry. I didn't see those two getting back together. That didn't happen. I'm sorry. There was no way that I would have seen those two get back together and be one happy family. And how long does that last?
You're talking about them after at the end of the movie?
Like to me, I just didn't see them walking off, getting the cop's car, kissing, and then driving or the limo and
You
driving.
don't think that maybe they just went through a whole night of hell during this is probably the most crazy Christmas
Okay, so they
situation that they
just
have?
answered my question.
They just went through so much hell, right? And you're gonna be hard on them. They gone through a lot of mental
Bro, that's
stress.
exactly what I
A
just
lot
said
of
to
mental
you, though.
stress.
That's exactly what I just said to you, though.
I get it.
It's saying, okay, so to me, when they're not there for Christmas, at
Okay.
that when they're in that state of mode, it's like you said, they just went through hell. Okay, she almost lost her life, and he sacrificed his life to save everybody. At this point, why did they go together? Because they wanted to find. They went, okay, we're like you said, let's go have. We need to be with our family. Not once did I feel like they were doing it because he was there. Oh, I'm in the spirit of Christmas, so I'm here to save you. Like, I don't see that. His life was in danger too. I'm sorry if I could go Rambo as well on this thinking, well, whatever you want to call it, bank robbers, terrorists, whatever you want to call it.
I think because knowing that this film is based in the time that it is based on, for me, it feels like a Christmas film because like when you're sitting down watching all these holiday movies, right? You want to get comfy on a cold day. This is a movie that you can get comfy on a cold day and watch a good action film. And guess what? It's a fucking Christmas movie.
Right?
It is. It is. You're gonna hear, bells in the background. all that kind of stuff.
I didn't hear no bells
What
in the background.
there are bells in the background, trust me. Um, what's up with Joyful Joyful being such a big part of this movie? Is that's not a Christmas thing, right? That's just a song. You know what I'm talking about? Joyful, joyful.
Yeah,
It's
I
a big part of the movie. Like
and it's not really a because that's what I thought too. I was like, are they really playing a Christmas song? And then it was like, really, it's not. It's like a oh to joy, oh to yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Well,
It's
I'm
like
not saying that they anyway. Anyway, there's
oh, so
Christmas
you're
movies are
caving into me more now. It's not a Christmas film because they don't
that's
play
not I
Christmas.
literally just said whatever, bro. This is bothering me. All right. Well, I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about because I mean, I gotta say this too. I think people I think people look for too much of an actual Christmas story in a film to refer to it as a Christmas movie. Why can't this movie just take place where it does, be based around the thought of Christmas, the holiday season, all that kind of stuff? Why can't we just have a movie like that and be like, okay, yeah, it's a Christmas movie, you
I'm
know?
not,
Because I
I'm
feel
not,
like that's
I'm
what we're
not
kind of
denying.
doing with this one, right? I think there's just way too much surrounding it that is due to Christmas, and like I said, there's a reason why he's flying in because it's Christmas. Okay.
And I'm not denying that. That's not
I'm
what I
just,
want.
I know, I know, I
I
know.
think I think my other thing too that you have to look at is
I
like something like
digress.
Gremlins, right?
Mhm.
Gremlins is yet again a Christmas present given to the kid, and they become monsters. I don't look at that as a Christmas film. I know people will put that up there. I don't look at it that way. To me, it's not the spirit of giving. It's like you said, when you watch a Christmas movie, and I look that way, so I'm guilty that way. When I watch a Christmas movie, I want a good film movie. I
Yeah.
want something that you learn you learn something. Just look at the Christmas Carol for a reason.
Mhm.
Scrooge goes and with these three ghosts, Ghost of Christmas Future, um, Ghost of Christmas Present, and Ghost of Christmas Past, right? And I know that was in reverse order. Sorry, don't care. I still got all three of them right. But he still learned something. Like even Elf, you have a good moral story.
Yeah.
You have, It's a Wonderful Life. I know a lot of people argue that too, but there's still good meaning part of that story. So that's how I look at that. That's why when I looked at Die Hard, I just don't see that. Like, I'll even put it out there. I look at Nightmare Before Christmas as more of a Christmas film. And the reason is because Jack still learns a lesson. Jack
Mhm.
still has a heart and still is trying to make things right. Because even at the end, he realizes what he's done. So you got to remember, there's still things that come across as it can be funny, it can be based off horror, it could be based off action, but it has to still be somewhat of a good meaning to it to me to make it a Christmas.
Um,
And I just didn't see that with Die Hard. Like, granted, but I just feel like when you get that vibe from them in the beginning of the film with his wife and him, if that didn't take place, I just don't see them working things out.
yeah.
So it's like a coincidence in a situation. I can't do my Alan Rickman voice as good as I used to, but
Huh.
I don't know. I see your points that people shouldn't really look at a movie, and if it's based around holidays, then let it be around the holidays. But at the same time, when you have movies like Gremlins that kind of shape that area too, you
Yeah.
have different movies like that that kind of make you go, okay, is that truly a Christmas film or not? I just don't look at Die Hard as a Christmas film. That's like saying, oh, it's like, how people say Happy Gilmore, right? Happy Gilmore is a hockey film because it involves a little bit of hockey. It's not a hockey film.
Yeah, but my thing is with this movie compared to like, let's just say Happy Gilmore, for example, there's not enough hockey references in that movie to cover for the amount of Christmas references that are made in Die Hard.
Like, I'm not denying it. I already told you one of my favorite lines of the whole when the SWAT team is going across the street and the other guy, except the assholes in there. But But to me, I just didn't see that. I think that's kind of part of it too. It's like you have the Christmas rap song. To me, the song they were playing at the Christmas party really wasn't even really Christmas. The kids didn't seem like they were happy that it was Christmas time. When they called, they just talked about if Daddy was coming in or not.
No, she asked them
Well,
if
she says that Santa
is
and her
Daddy gonna
have
come? She's, I don't know. Yeah, Santa and I are working on that.
yeah.
And she's like, don't go snooping around looking for presents.
Oh, but yeah, that makes
But
sense.
yeah, more Christmas references. I get it. Yeah, sure.
No, whatever. Not the point. But like even the only other
Point. That's the point of this episode.
but I think that's where I look at it differently than you. When it comes to looking at a Christmas film, I want a good film story. And I feel like the action overtakes it
Hmm.
to the point where I just don't see it. You know, Granted, there's references, okay, but there's references in Harry Potter, there's references in other movies that you get that, like even Gremlins, you get references to Christmas, but that doesn't mean it's a Christmas film. I don't look at Gremlins as a Christmas
Did
film.
you want a plot twist of Santa slipping off, the roof and landing,
It'd be
and
violent Christmas. It'd be violent
well,
night.
no, and then John McClane is forced to take the role of Santa Claus. It's like the Santa Claus story, but with John McClane. Could you imagine being murdered by Santa Claus? That would suck. All those Germans that died. Rest in peace. But yeah, man, I just there's a lot of go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, that's why I said that it really is a debatable movie. It really is. I don't look at it at Christmas because of the action pack. It is, you know, it's just like a romance movie, I guess is a good way to put it. And when you mix war into it, is it a war movie or a romance?
Mhm.
You know, sometimes when you mix two genres together, just kind of like what Die Hard is, it shades that line if it truly is a Christmas film or not.
Mhm.
I don't see it. It's like saying Deadpool's. Remember how that was advertised, right? The first Deadpool. It's the man's turn for a Valentine movie, pretty much, because 50 Shades of Grey came out the year before.
Oh, that's right. Forget
Do you
about
look at
that.
that as a Valentine film or a romance film?
What, Deadpool?
Yeah, I don't look at it as a Deadpool. I don't look at it as a romance. I look at it as an action comic book. You
Well,
know,
that's honestly though, like any action movie usually has a little bit of romance because there's like a love story behind it.
granted, but see, that's where I look at something like Die Hard. Yeah, you have a little bit of Christmas in it, but that doesn't mean it's Christmas.
You have a
It's
lot of
I
Christmas.
felt like I was more enthralled with the action than the
Mhm.
good Phil story.
My thing is like the fact that it makes so many references of Christmas in it. It's like, well, what are we doing here? Are you trying to get the point that we're in Christmas time, or are you getting the point of where, yeah, like you better embrace the Christmas, man? Because I think that's what it is. But I might sound like a nutcase right now, but you gotta embrace the Christmas. And I think that's what they did here. Just not
But
kidding.
see, that's the whole thing. Like I think people when they put into the Christmas festive, and it's like you said, with the whole action part of it, you take that away when you
Hmm.
have the blood, you have the gore, you have the cussing, you have the violence. It takes that away. I don't look at Violent Night as a Christmas movie, and that is Santa Claus going after a whole bunch of robbers. I don't look at that as a Christmas movie. I just call that a bad action film that should have never been made. Honest opinion. Don't come at me in the comments. But I just can't stand that movie. And Die Hard is one I could watch, but see, to me, when I watch that series, I don't go, I got to watch it during Christmas. When I want to watch it, I'm going to watch the whole franchise. I'm not going there and like, oh yeah, this is a Christmas movie. Like when you look at something like Home Alone, when you look at that and go, that's Christmas. Okay, two of the movies might not be in Christmas time.
For the big reason why big television companies or channels, I should say, have Die Hard playing during Christmas time on TV?
because they know people will watch it.
Okay, well, maybe it's also because there's the lore of it being a Christmas movie.
No.
I agree. I
Okay,
agree.
so they play Harry Potter all during Christmas time too. You gonna plan that as Christmas?
No, because I think that's more of a fall movie.
But see, that's the whole thing. They brought it during Christmas time.
Not just during Christmas time. You get Halloween.
Exactly. That's
You
my
get
whole
all the
thing. It's like,
seasons.
see,
Like
like
I said, there's just too, but like that. That's where I go back to like in this movie in particular. There's just way too many Christmas references. It's not Christmas for 5 minutes like in Harry Potter. No, it's Christmas for an hour and 50 minutes. Like that's my thing. Is like, okay, yeah, obviously this is Christmas Eve. We're on Christmas Eve. We're here because there's a Christmas party. Oh wow, the Christmas party gets taken over by German terrorists. Ho ho ho, bitches.
oh, oh,
How
oh,
how has anyone left my detonators here? Anyone at all?
I want my detonators.
I want my detonators.
Uh,
Is this the cowboy I have the pleasure of speaking with? John McClane?
yippee motherfucker.
John. I love that scene where he's talking to Hans and Hans is pretending to be like a normal person. Like,
Yeah, when they're in the little hall scene where
yeah, dude, that's
does
such a
the
cool, like, twisted scene. And then he gives him the gun. And yeah, he gives him a gun, right? He gives him the gun
yeah, he
and
gives
he
him a gun and
throws
he
a
starts
bullet in
walking.
there, and then he's like, turn around, and then he's like, you think I'm fucking stupid? I didn't leave a bullet in there for you, dumb. Yeah. Anyway.
But that's why I said it's one of those movies that it's like we said, like when you look at Gremlins, you look at something like that. They shade that line. That's why I just can't look at it as a Christmas film. They shade in that where you don't see it that way. Granted, they might have references. Yes, they might have this. But there's just so many things that I go, okay, but something's still wrong here. Something's not right in that feeling. Because when I want to watch something like Christmas Eve, I want to, like I said, I want to have that good Phil story
Yeah.
where you have the dude get on top, on at the top of his game with his woman that's with him, or or sit there and actually have somebody learn a lesson about their lives. That's Christmas to me, not something like
Not yippee-ki-yay.
that. Not yippee motherfucker. But that's why I said it is a good movie. Don't get me wrong. But now I gotta ask you the hard question. Now I know you said you like Die Hard with a Vengeance. How would you rank the Die Hard film from least to favorite? So I'm gonna pull up the list right now. You want to go from recent or oldest?
Go recent.
Okay. A Good Day to Die Hard, 2013.
Okay, I don't think I got a chance to see that one.
That has Bruce Willis, Jai Courtney, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. That's kind of the three main actors there.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll put
There-
that probably automatically number 5.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. Live Free or Die Hard, 2007.
I would put that as I put that down as three.
Oh, okay. Okay. Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Number one.
I know where Die Hard 2 is going to go.
Die Hard 2 is gonna be number four.
So what makes you like Die Hard more than Die Hard 2? Because Die Hard 2 is still decent.
Well, and I think Die Hard 2 is like the same concept, right? It all takes place in
Kind
one.
of. Yeah. But it
Yeah, I just think I like this movie because it's the nostalgia behind it. Alan Rickman is perfect in this movie. Also, it's got a lot of like big 80s actors. Like we mentioned earlier, like the principal from Breakfast Club is in this.
never take him serious. Paul Gleason is his name.
The
I can't.
TV reporter who's I forget his name, but he's in a bunch of stuff. He's in Biodome as
Well,
one of the scientists. Um,
The hacker is from Matlock or Walker Texas Ranger and stuff like that. So there's
Texas Ranger.
yeah, I pulled that, and he's even in Top Gun and
Those are
stuff.
Ricky Bobby's kids.
Ricky Bobby.
Um, but yeah, man. Uh, I just like I like number one. I think it holds up pretty well. When I was watching this over, it's good, man. Like it made me miss like they don't make movies like they did back then. Like you won't get a movie like this made now. Like just the way it's shot and everything.
And
There's not
now
a whole lot
because
of
there's so
special effects
much
to it.
cancel culture stuff and everything too, you
Yeah.
will never get somebody to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, let's make an action packed Christmas." Yeah, you're getting one later this year or with Rock and J.K. Simmons.
Well, my
But
thing is like you can't this yeah, and they don't it's not even to the point of where the whole cancel culture thing, I think in my opinion is they just don't make movies like this anymore. Like the way this movie is shot, the way every scene is put together, it's just there's a lot of simplicities with older movies like this that just make them so enjoyable. And it's like now they try to overdo themselves with a lot of things, like CGI, like overdoing so much CGI in these movies. And I feel like some of it can take away from films. There's a reason why Christopher Nolan doesn't like to use, I mean, obviously he's used CGI in his films, but
he
he
doesn't over.
he refrains from using it too much.
I think the only
So,
movie he really did it heavy in was Inception,
well, Interstellar too, I would think.
Interstellar, and I would probably put Oppenheimer up there.
Yeah,
Of those three movies, I would probably say are the only three big movies he really CGI.
yeah.
The rest of them are pretty accurate, where it's just humans. Even the Batman films.
Like in this movie, Die Hard, like there's really not any CGI done or any special effects that make the movie look weird in any way. It's just the way it's done, I think is so good. It's such a gritty late 80s, film. This is where there's a what's that?
It's a thriller. It's an action thriller. It keeps
Yeah, set around Christmas time. Yep.
it's set during Christmas time. Does not make it
Which
Christmas.
makes it a Christmas movie.
Like I said, then you call Harry Potter a Christmas movie.
No, because Christmas didn't bring Harry Potter to Hogwarts. Christmas brought John McClane to LA. Get the fuck out of here with that. I think it's the perfect way to end the podcast. I win. I win the good old Die Hard debate.
Yeah, whatever.
First time I won anything. I'll drink to that. I'll drink sip my empty cup.
But fans, check us out, J4F Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Let us know in the comments there what you think about Die Hard. Is Die Hard truly a Christmas film or not? Let us know in the comments. We want to hear from you on that. And always check us out on Spotify. Without further ado, turn over to Patty B to take us out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening us to this debauchery. I apologize for having to listen to B Dog try to just shit on this masterpiece of a Christmas film known as Die Hard. But I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you guys want more of this banter in the future because I'm down with it. Always down to debate with Mr. B Dog. But there's one thing that we always have to remember when we're doing these things, and it is we do it just for flicks.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Bye-bye.